Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Bisexual Hillbilly here. I want to talk to you about something very serious today, okay? So listen closely and follow because this is very serious and it's happened for years and there's barely anything you can do about it to fix this. Scammers are using forged deeds to steal homes and properties. So we're going to read about Linda Cleland, whose home that she had for years with her parents, her family for years. She was evicted one day, just out of nowhere. Police came, eviction notice, you have to go, get out. A woman who had been living in this home for years. So this is Linda Cleland, an only child. The house in Northwest Hialeah belonged to the Cleland family since the mid-1950s. Linda Cleland, an only child, watched her mother plant a pine sapling that grew to tower over the home in the front yard. Eventually, her parents aged there, fell ill, and died years apart. Cleland's 2 dogs are buried in the home's yard. The house remained hers until an April day when police suddenly came to evict Cleland, leaving her homeless while fighting to get her property back. My house was stolen from me. I couldn't believe it was happening, said Cleland, 60 years old. All my property was put in bags and tossed outside like garbage. In a scam that authorities say has proliferated in recent years, Cleland fell victim to swindlers who used bogus quitclaim deeds to secretly strip her of the property, then sold the home to a Pembroke Pines investment firm. Now, let me explain a little bit about this, okay? When you have the deed to your home, you need to always keep it put up safe. Never leave it in a box or a filing cabinet. Never leave it in a safe that can be easily stolen or opened. Put the deed to your properties and your homes and your cars in a very safe, secure place. If it's at home, lock it up. You can put it in a bank safety deposit box. There are a lot of ways that you can protect your deeds, especially from like fire, water damage, thieves, different things. Because let me explain this to you. When someone gets the deed to your home, unfortunately, America has these dumbass laws where you can just take someone's title, go get someone to notarize it, switch it over to your name. It doesn't seem like you could do this, but yes, you can do this. And it's been done many times. Many times it's identity theft. And it's so hard to catch the scammer. Sometimes you have more than one scammer, and then sometimes the person who notarizes it or the person who's buying it has no idea it's been stolen. And unfortunately, there's a statute of limitations. Some states have a 3-year law, some have 10. So if you don't even realize that your property has been taken within that time frame, then there's nothing you can do about it. And what's even worse is these scammers can actually end up taking out mortgages and loans on your property in your name or theirs, and you get stuck with the bill or have your property seized and taken by the bank, foreclosed on. You have to be so careful with these titles and deeds and things, especially if you have an elderly family or parents. You need to make sure their paperwork is always safely put up and locked up so this doesn't happen to them. Bank accounts, anything. Okay. Spurred by cases like Cleland's, the Miami-Dade Inspector General's office and prosecutors in recent weeks have begun meeting with the clerk of courts to figure out new procedures aimed at curbing quitclaim deed fraud. It's just too easy to steal somebody's property by filing a fraudulent quitclaim deed, Miami-Dade Inspector General Mary Cagle told the Miami Herald and News Partner. For 7 months, Linda Cleland lived on the streets, occasionally crashing with friends, usually sleeping in a grassy area outside the nearby Palm Springs Methodist Church. This week, with help from legal services of Greater Miami, a civil judge ordered Cleland be allowed to return to the 3-bedroom home. She had been feeling hopeless, but I definitively saw a sense of relief. She was stoic, said legal services attorney Lisette Labrusi. Guys, what are you doing? Tucker, don't be mean to her. Tucker, be nice. Investigators are still probing Cleland's case. No arrests have been made. See, that's crazy. A quitclaim deed allows a property owner to quickly transfer it to someone else. The document must be notarized and can be filed to a clerk of courts in person, via mail, or through the internet. Investigators with the OIG believe the swindlers scour neighborhoods looking for abandoned or dilapidated homes in which the owners apart have died. Fake quitclaims deeds are filed transferring ownership of the homes to straw buyers who turn around and sell the homes. Exactly how many fraudulent quitclaim deeds are filed with the clerk office is unknown, authorities say, but there are so many that police cannot come close to investigating them all. And the problem is, a lot of people don't even know that their property has been taken, stolen. A lot of people don't know until they get a notice in the mail, piece of paper that says, hey, your property's being foreclosed, or hey, you owe this much money. Tut tut. Calm down. Most people don't have any idea until they get the bill in the mail, or they realize their tax paper, the receipt, the tax bill hasn't come, or the tax bill comes in someone else's name, or the bank forecloses, or you get a letter in the mail about a loan. There's so many different ways that you end up finding out. Some people never find out. Sad. These scammers are very clever people who try to get around what you do. We're trying to stay a step ahead of them. Some of the remedies being considered: photocopying IDs of people who file quitclaim deeds in person, retaining clerk of court security footage for longer periods of time, and creating a complaint hotline at the state attorney's office. At least one major prosecution of a suspected quitclaim deed scammer is underway. The chief suspect is Yohani Garcia, 38. Prosecutors in 2012 accused her and a group of others of biking prospective home buyers out of over $2 million. Garcia and others claimed they could sell people homes that would be auctioned off for simply the price of delinquent taxes, according to the state. While awaiting trial in that case, prosecutors said Garcia this year tried to use 2 homes as collateral to help bail her out of jail. But according to the arrest warrant, OIG investigator Juan Coot found that both homes had been stolen using fake quitclaim deeds. She tried to bail herself out of jail. She tried to use 2 more stolen homes, y'all. The real owners had died and the properties had languished in the hands of relatives. Her defense attorney, Scott Sakin, said prosecutors do not have a lot of evidence connecting her to wrongdoing. I can't stand these weaselly defense attorneys. I know it's their job. I know they have to do it. I get that, but still. Shiesty. They don't have her going to the recorder's office to file false documents, Sakin said. There is nothing connecting her to the case except people who don't like her and cut a deal. It's a typical snitch case. No, she used 2 homes that she did not own to try to bail her ass out of jail. So yes, they do have a connection, actually. 1 decade ago, Inspector General's office arrested 2 people for using bogus quitclaim deeds to steal and sell homes of dead or sickly people. In response to, a clerk of courts began automatically sending letters to the last person who paid the tax bill, notifying them that a quitclaim deed had been filed on their property. That's why I say always check your tax bills. Make sure your name's on it. Make sure you keep that stuff put up, because when you throw it in the mail, people get that. You don't realize how your name alone can give these people access to your information. Always burn or shred your stuff. Don't just throw it in the mail. In October alone, the clerk's office sent out 1,507 quitclaim deed notifications, but investors believe some of the crooks actually retrieved the letters from the mailboxes because they now own the address. At least 1 letter made it into Cleland's hands, but only because she happened to check her mail just as the mailman was delivering it to her box. Cleland wrote a letter to the court declaring she had been a victim of fraud, but a judge nonetheless ordered she be evicted from her home. That's sad. Exactly why and how Cleland's house was targeted is unclear, but in March 2014, someone filed a bogus quitclaim deed purporting to be from Leila Cleland, transferring the property into the name of her mother, Louise Cleland. My mother has been dead at that time for close to 11 years, Cleland said. The form was supposedly witnessed by a notary named Kent Taylor, someone who does not exist. Now, this is where you can get the notary. If it's a real notary, if you can get that notary and prove that they put their stamp on it, you can get their ass in trouble. You always keep up with who notarizes your stuff. Get a form of identification from every party, including the notary. Make sure it's a real notary. Be legal about it. If you're buying a home, check the notary out. Don't buy a fake home because you're going to lose your money and lose the house. The next month, the second sham quitclaim deed sent to the property from Luis Cleland to a company called JSM Construction Corp., an entity started by the handyman Julio Morales. By 2014, Morales had sold the home for $100,000 to Stark Equity Group of Pembroke Pines, which has no idea the property had been stolen. The company eventually had her evicted. So even the person who bought the home was a victim. They had no idea they were spending $100,000 to get a home that was stolen. Then they have her evicted, Linda. They have no idea what's going on. So you have now two victims because of these scammers. A judge on Monday ordered the eviction be vacated. The legal fight is not over, though. Cleland's lawyer will now ask a circuit court to return the title of her home to her. Stark Equity's lawyer did not return a call for comment. These criminals are heartless. What they do is prey upon the most vulnerable, the ones who are almost going to be homeless, the elderly. And that's another thing. They prey upon people in rest homes, people in the hospital, people who have been in rest home for years who still have property out here. Even if it's in a relative's name, they can still get it. Now, let's see. We also know there are probably many other victims out there, and we want to make sure they reach out to us so we can take action. So you definitely need to keep an eye on your elderly family's properties. If you have someone with a will, this was the person who was caught doing all this stuff. This is a very serious situation. Quitclaim deeds are very serious. It's so hard to get your property back. Y'all, you could be sitting in your home right now, cozy and comfy and nothing be going wrong. All of a sudden, the law shows up, get the hell out with an eviction notice. And you're like, I bought this house, or this was my mom and dad's house, or this was my great-grandparents' home. This was my farmstead. This has been in my family for 30, 40, 50, 100 years. And they take it. This is so serious. We need better laws for this. That's why I'm doing this video. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. If you have any stories to tell them in the comments. I love reading them. And as